You may all please be seated. Good evening. My name is Mike Spencer, and I'm the incoming Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, and I'm delighted to welcome graduates and their families and guests. A special welcome and thank you to our esteemed keynote speaker, Girmay Zahilay. For the enjoyment of all, we would like to ask everyone to silence their cell phones during the celebration. Also, there is an elevator in the corner behind me to the left for those who might need it. And now, I'm pleased to introduce, in place of our Dean, Edwina Uehara, who could not be here today, the outgoing Associate Dean for Academic Affairs of the School of Social Work, Tessa Evans-Campbell.
Good evening, everyone. Are we ready? Yes. I'm Tessa Evans-Campbell, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, and I'm honored to welcome our 2022 graduates and their families, friends, and loved ones to this graduation ceremony. Before we begin, I'd like to note that there may be some small changes to the program tonight. Just things happen in the world. With COVID, et cetera, but I know we're all used to sitting with ambiguity for the last 2 years, right? And as social workers, we sit with ambiguity a lot, so just small changes may happen. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the University of Washington School of Social Work, thank you all for joining us tonight in the celebration of the distinguished graduating class of 2022. As we begin our celebration, please join me in acknowledging the Coast Salish people, past, present, and future of this land, which touches the shared waters of the Coast Salish, including the tribes and bands within the Duwamish, Suquamish, Tulalip, and Muckleshoot nations. We give thanks for the privilege of gathering on this land tonight. We come together tonight to honor the accomplishments of 327 extraordinary and passionate people who have given so much and sacrificed so much to reach this moment. We could not be prouder of our graduates, nor more excited about the commitment to social justice that they have made by choosing social work as their profession. At the same time, we acknowledge that no one is an island. Each of us is lifted to success by the love, support, and sacrifice of many others. So before I pay tribute to our graduates themselves, I'd like to recognize some amazing people here today in the hall. First and foremost, will the families, friends, and loved ones of our graduates please stand to be recognized? Yay! Honored guests, the School of Social Work joins with our graduates in extending our deepest thanks and appreciation to all of you. You have made the truly big sacrifices. You have given up precious family time, provided unending support and encouragement so that our graduates could concentrate on their studies. Many of you have eased the financial burdens of our students, and all of you have demonstrated your faith in your loved one's ability to succeed. For all these reasons and many more, this graduation ceremony is an embrace and celebration of you, as well as the graduates. Can we please have a joyous and raucous round of applause for the families and friends of our graduates? And next, I'd like to ask our amazing staff and faculty of the school to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Woo. Thank you all so much. Saving the best for last, will the distinguished graduates of 2022 please rise to be recognized? Woo! you. Esteemed class of 2022, you graduate in times of great turbulence and change, but never doubt that you are part of a greater community of social workers who will work and fight alongside other activists, coalitions, and communities for the universal right to health care and reproductive rights, for the rights of LGBTQ+, immigrant, BIPOC, and refugee communities, for the protection of all populations subjected to marginalization, oppression, and violence, and indeed for the survival of our planet and all living beings who would thrive on it. As a new generation of social workers, I know you will step up to the change and the challenges and step into the turbulence in order to bend the long arc of the moral universe towards social justice. Class of 2022, you are unstoppable, unwavering, and an immeasurable force for good. And I give you my heartiest congratulations and thanks to all of you.
Graduating BASW and MSW student cohorts each nominate and vote for a faculty member to receive the Student's Choice Teaching Award, recognizing outstanding contributions to classroom teaching. Faculty are chosen based on their enthusiasm and innovation in the learning and teaching process, their ability to engage students both within and outside of the classroom, and their ability to inspire independent and original thinking in students. This year, the graduating BASW students selected Professor David LaFazia for the Student's Choice Teaching Award. David, please come up and receive your award. We'd also like to read the plaque that includes a quote from one of his students. David's plaque reads, "Inspiring, devoted, caring, supportive, and passionate." And those of us who know David know that he's all of those things, right? Let's give him a big round of applause. For the MSW Student's Choice Teaching Award, the graduating students selected 2 recipients. Good deal. The first recipient is Professor Steve Wilson. Steve, please come up to the podium. Steve's plaque reads, "Excellent storyteller who bridges the gap between past and present to ensure a better future." And those of us who know Steve know he's the storyteller extraordinaire, and we all learned so much from him. And so thank you so much, Steve. At the PhD level, the School of Social Work's Luane Gilchrist Doctoral Mentor Award. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. We had 2 awards. I forgot. We had 2 awards, right? We only said 1. So we got a second one. The second is Professor Ryan Petros. Ryan, please come to the podium. And this is really Ryan right here with what his plaque says. The most patient, empowering, and passionate mentor, and all-around brilliant human being. Now we can go to the PhD award. At the PhD level, the School of Social Work's Luane Gilchrist Doctoral Mentor Award recognizes doctoral program faculty who have dedicated their careers to the promise and success of their students. I would like to acknowledge the work of the Doctoral Programs Awards Committee and the support of Dean Edwina Uehara in making this tradition of recognition possible. I would also like to express my gratitude to the many doctoral students, both former and current, who wrote detailed and eloquent letters of nomination for this award. This year, the Doctoral Mentor Award is given to Dr. Megan Moore. Unfortunately, Megan is not able to join us tonight, but we will get her plaque to her, and her plaque reads, "Mentorship that holds the complexity of academia together." And so this is something that most of our doctoral students definitely need. So with that, I'd like to now introduce you to one of our very own students who would like to perform a work of spoken word that she wrote herself. Her name is Maria Gutierrez, and she is graduating from our BASW program. Maria?
First of all, I'm so thankful to be here and to celebrate this with everyone. And just to say we all are essential for this country and for people's lives. And thanks, Mom, for coming here. I'm proud that you are a housekeeper for more than 20 years, and I'm here for you. So this piece, I call it, "Let Your Talents Rain into People's Lives." And it's crazy, today is raining, so kind of makes sense. So here we go. When it rains, the sky clears up. The rain soothes the air around the planet, and the sun is even brighter. Now let me tell you something. What you are doing and what I am doing forms these thousands of raindrops that little by little are making this world a better place. The uniqueness of what you are passionate about, the essence of how much love and empathy there is in your heart, and the power of those raindrops that drive thousands of miles to the ground, carrying fearlessness and empowerment, creating this vibration on the earth, screaming aloud. We got this. And this is our chance to leave this earth as a better place for someone else. Science is amazing. Doctors and nurses and all healthcare professionals have been helping a lot of people, especially during the pandemic. Let's remind the world and the system that we, social workers, are essential as well. We have an expertise that many don't. We are the doctors that help people with even deeper challenges. We are the guiders and supporters for them to access what was denied to them. We have roles that require a lot. And one of them is that we are helpers with an open heart to serve them. This journey is just the beginning, to transform this society into one where everyone collectively helps each other get the opportunities they deserve. We are special, unique, and talented, and each of us is here for a greater purpose. Keep making the sky rain, and you will see how clear things are at the end. And your heart will rejoice because you brought to someone else what was missing, and it's called hope. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria, for your profound words. Now I have the honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Girmay Zahilay, a passionate advocate for social and racial justice and a respected voice on the King County City Council. Girmay represents District Number 2, which encompasses some of Seattle's and King County's most racially and economically diverse neighborhoods. When he began his term in 2020, he was the youngest member of the council and the only sitting Black county council member in Washington state. Since that time, he's worked tirelessly on several fronts, including pandemic response, economic relief, and racial injustice. During the darkest days of the pandemic, Girmay made sure that the rental assistance, food vouchers, mobile testing, and masks were available for thousands of county residents. I must say, King County did an outstanding job. In the unincorporated community of Skyway, he secured backing for a community center, more affordable housing units, expanded public transit, and he spearheaded passage of an amendment to allow funding for public health and community-based alternatives to traditional policing. Born in Sudan to Ethiopian refugees, Girmay moved with his family to the U.S. when he was 3 years old. From that time, his family lived in public housing projects and in a homeless shelter. He knows firsthand what it is like to be poor, displaced, discriminated against, and without a voice. The background shaped who he is today. Girmay graduated from Franklin High School. Let's hear it, Franklin. Okay. As well as graduated from Stanford University and went to law school at the University of Pennsylvania. While interning at the Obama White House, he saw firsthand how a strong, resourceful leader could combine law, policy, and grassroots efforts to drive sustainable change. After law school, he moved to New York City to work in a law firm, but private practice was not where his heart was at. It was too far removed from the communities he wanted to serve. With that insight, he founded a group called Rising Leaders, an organization that gives underserved students access to mentors and training in life skills. After moving back to the Northwest, he decided to run for office. The life experience gives him incredible insight into the communities he serves. His commitment to close the divide between an economically booming region and the needs of a vital but struggling community is unwavering. We are honored that Girmay Zahilay agreed to be our keynote speaker this year. I know we're all looking forward to hearing what he has to say. So without further ado, I'm pleased to welcome our 2022 School of Social Work graduate keynote speaker, King County Council Member, Girmay Zahilay.
Graduations make me so happy. I'm so happy to be here. Good evening, everybody. My name is Girmay Zahilay. I'm a King County Council member. Thank you so much for the introduction, Mike. Representing this district, District 2. So on behalf of King County District 2 and our whole region of 2.3 million people, I want to congratulate the graduates, their loved ones, the staff, and every single person who made this an incredible ceremony. Give yourselves a round of applause. And just because I feel the spirit, can we all give a round of applause to Maria Gutierrez's mom? Because thank you. Before I begin my remarks, I want to address the single most important reason why we're all gathered here today. Because we all know that the most important thing is not the diploma that you're going to get today. The most important thing is not being here celebrating with your loved ones. The single most important reason why we're here today is to get the perfect Instagram post. And so I want everybody, I know we're going to capture this moment together. I want you all to pull out your phones. I'm giving you permission. We're going to get the perfect post for each and every single one of you. Pull out your phones. Audience members, feel free to do this too, because we're going to get the perfect post. All right? Get the camera app open, video mode, okay? Video mode, everybody. When I tell you to start recording, I'm gonna say if you're getting a degree in social work, make some noise. And once I say that, I need everybody in here to bring down the house, okay? Remember how special of a moment this is. Channel that energy and show your loved ones why this is so important, all right? So I'm gonna say record, I'm gonna say what I say, and then you all are gonna bring down the house. Everybody with me? All right. All right, start recording. If you're getting a degree in social work, make some noise! Yeah! There you go, there you go. All right, now the pressure of getting the perfect post is over. We can all relax, have a good time, enjoy the rest of my remarks. So I gotta be honest, I really struggled with what to say up here today because most commencement speakers, they get on a stage and they tell graduates to go out there and do some good work. But you all are literally getting your degrees and doing some good work. So it feels a little redundant for me to get up here and say the usual stuff. You know, I wouldn't go to a firefighter's graduation and tell them, you know, inspire them to fight more fires. They're already dedicated to that. And so what would I say if I went to a firefighter's graduation? I would probably say, first of all, oh my goodness, you chose super hard and life-saving work. Thank you so much for your service, and please, for the love of God, protect yourself at all costs because you deserve to be safe and healthy too. And that's what I would say to you all. To our social work graduates, what I would say is thank you so much for your service, and please, for the love of God, protect yourself at all costs because you deserve to be safe and healthy too. You are all people who are asked to consider everyone else around you. You're asked to put everyone else's traumas, burdens, problems on your own shoulders. So I'm here to remind you to consider yourself too. We're living in such stressful times, and I've had many people I care about succumb to that stress. And in part, that's because our society doesn't teach us to prioritize our own mental and physical health, especially in your field. So today, I'd like to share with you 3 lessons that I hope will remind you to protect and nourish yourself, because there isn't an endless supply of you to go around. So lesson number 1 that I want you to constantly remind yourself: not every problem is my problem to solve. Not every problem is my problem to solve. I see you snapping, that's right. There is an endless supply of problems in the world, especially in this current decade of compounding crises. To make matters worse, the way we consume information in our modern world will constantly flood your senses with every atrocity and every catastrophe from every corner of the world all at once. And you're constantly drinking this in every single day at every single hour. But trust me, you cannot and you will not be the one to fix every single problem. So on the days and the nights when you're sitting in your bed feeling like the world's problems are too overwhelming to fix, on the days when you're doom scrolling on Twitter, remind yourself, not every problem is my problem to solve. Everybody with me, not every problem is my problem to solve. One more time, not every problem is my problem to solve. Lesson number 2 that I want you to remind yourself: I will be as intentional about my health as I am about my career. I will be as intentional about my health as I am about my career. We live in a society where from childhood we're taught to value ourselves based on our careers and our economic output. Constantly chasing the next internship, job offer, promotion. We're taught to be constantly productive. We're so wired for this mindset that even when we're sitting down with nothing to do, just existing, we feel like we're wasting time and our anxiety spikes from nothing. This is not a healthy way to live. The anxiety, the depression, and stress can take years off our lives. We have to become as intentional about our own health as we are taught to be about our careers. I can tell you I was not following this advice myself. In my first 2 years on the council, I was aggressively accepting every single meeting request, every single event, joining every organizing effort, and I would do this until my calendar was packed from morning to night every day for months on end. And then, once that schedule was already set, I would try to find things that made me happy and healthy in between. I'll try to go to the gym between these two meetings. I'll hang out with my friends after these two work events. I'll meditate if my committee ends on time. Inevitably, I'd usually end up just canceling my personal events because I was already exhausted from the full work schedule. I was not being as intentional about my own health as I was about my job. And after a nonstop marathon of working for 2 years, the anxiety had been piling up inside of me without me even realizing it. My breaking point manifested itself with chronic insomnia. I couldn't sleep, and I tried everything, but no matter what I did, I could fall asleep an average of 1 night a week and up for 6 days. That's not healthy. It was bad. I felt like a shell of a human being. So slowly this year, I've started becoming more intentional, blocking out time proactively to meditate, to take walks, to spend time with my family and friends, to seek therapy, to go to the gym, forming accountability groups with friends around mental health practices. And I've seen a little bit of progress. Now I sleep like 4 nights a week. My lack of intentionality over my health manifested itself in insomnia. But I have friends who have suffered much, much worse, sometimes fatal consequences. And I don't want that for all of you. I want you all to be healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So say it with me. I will be as intentional about my health as I am about my career. I will be as intentional about my health as I am about my career. Thank you. Lesson number 3, and this is the last one, I promise. I know how this goes. That I want you to constantly say to yourself, my goal is growth, not perfection. My goal is growth, not perfection. Social media highlight reels, Forbes 30 under 30 lists, peer pressure, parent pressure, all these things will make you feel like you have to have your whole life figured out the moment you get your degree today. Other people's expectations and your own perceptions of other people's expectations, even when those expectations don't exist, will make you feel like you have to be perfect as soon as you walk across this stage today. You don't. You do not have to have your life figured out. Take your time, make mistakes, explore what your interests actually are. Growth is not always glamorous. Growth is not always glamorous. After I graduated college at 22 and then got my law degree at 27, I felt lost for years. It might have looked like I had my life figured out on the surface, but in reality, I did not know how to get from where I was to where I wanted to be. To make matters worse, every day I would compare my journey to someone else's, my friends, my peers, random people on the internet, and it made me feel so inadequate. It wasn't until I drowned out the noise, stepped off the beaten path, and took several leaps of faith that I truly found my way. Finding your way begins with being kind to yourself. Give yourself grace for mistakes. Tell yourself it's okay to not be perfect. Allow yourself the opportunity to grow, to heal, to take risks that don't produce immediate results. And if you do these things, you'll give yourself the best shot at living a fulfilling life. So say it with me. My goal is growth, not perfection. My goal is growth, not perfection. You got to say that one more time. My goal is growth, not perfection. So those are the 3 lessons that I wanted to leave you with today. Not every problem is your problem to solve. You will be as intentional about your health as you are about your career, and your goal is growth, not perfection. You all are doing amazing work for the world. We need your services now more than ever. And that also means taking care of yourself. Congratulations to the graduates, their families, and your teachers. Thank you for having me, and thank you to everyone who put on this amazing ceremony today. Thank you and good night, everybody.
Thank you, Girmay. That was a very powerful message. Probably as good a message as we've heard on self-care, haven't we? Take it to heart, folks. Now, I'm happy to invite Zenobia Hetherington to speak to us about our Child Welfare Training and Advancement Program. Zenobia?
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations, family and friends and graduates. My name is Zenobia Hetherington, and I have the honor of directing the Child Welfare Training and Advancement Program that we call CTAP. CTAP is a federally funded program and partnership between the University of Washington School of Social Work and the Department of Children, Youth, and Families in Washington State. CTAP promotes continued professionalization, recruitment, and retention of social workers serving in the public child welfare system statewide. Since 1992, the School of Social Work has graduated over 780 CTAP students, including 36 this year. Thank you. CTAP participants receive educational assistance, money, along with an extensive academic and practice-based focus on professional social work with diverse populations of children, youth, and families that are served within the public child welfare system. Upon graduation, CTAP participants commit to serving children, youth, and families as an employee of the Washington State Department of Children, Youth, and Families. Each year, the CTAP team and the child welfare faculty and DCYF employees recommend MSW students for the CTAP Scholar Award. Those recommended consistently excel both as a student practitioner and a scholar. As you might imagine, this is an exciting yet daunting challenge. This year, we have chosen 2 students, although all of our CTAP students are indeed scholars. I will announce the student's name and ask that you please join me in celebrating them as they come to receive their certificate and their first annual membership to the National Association of Social Workers, or the National Association of Black Social Workers, to start their MSW career connected to one of the most prestigious professional organizations. The first scholar is Priscilla Naka. Thank you. Our second recipient, and I believe my team and I would agree that choosing from our extended degree program is very difficult. The evening and the weekend students go above and beyond to get this MSW. Many by working full-time jobs in the daytime, taking care of families, et cetera, and then coming to school over the weekend or in the evenings. Rain or snow or wind or sunshine, they're here. This year, our recipient from the extended degree program is Amber McDowell Reese. Thank you, and congratulations to you both.
Thank you so much, Zenobia. We're about to get to the main event, honoring and awarding degrees of this year's graduates. But I want to start by giving recognition to the graduates who have made a special contribution to the school. Today, we honor the graduating students for all their hard work and outstanding academic accomplishments. But it's also important for us to say thank you to those students by acknowledging their extracurricular contributions to the school during their time with us. Students who served the school during their time here are noted in the list of program graduates with small symbols next to their names. Those of us on the faculty and staff have benefited greatly from your contributions. Thank you so very much. From the outset, students have helped recruit new students for our undergraduate and graduate programs. Some have been active in the classroom, including as senior facilitators for intergroup dialogue. Other students have helped to plan and facilitate new student orientations in our school. They have served as student liaisons with the National Association of Social Workers. They have created and led student organizations, including the Student Advisory Council, and they have worked with faculty in nearly every major committee in the school, including curriculum and hiring committees. With the students who have assisted the school this year, please stand as you are able. There you go. I ask that the faculty please join me in thanking those students before us who have given their time, energy, and passion. To help celebrate the communities these students have built together at the School of Social Work, here next is one of our MSW graduates, Jody Hartman, performing a song, Hero, by Mariah Carey.
To carry on, and you catch a feeling. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jody, for that beautiful song. That was like a bucket list moment right there, man. I want that. I want that. Now we've come to the time in our program to confer the degrees. All of our students will be called by name and cross the stage to receive a scroll and a School of Social Work alumni pin from a faculty member that students nominated to be on stage with them before returning to their seats. We'll begin with the presentation of the PhD in Social Welfare degrees. Students are hooded by the chairs of their committee or a representative of their committee as part of the degree conferral. We would like to say a few words about each of our graduates to honor them today. Our PhD degrees are presented in alphabetical order. Now, I'd like to invite Roberto Ariana, the chair of our PhD program in social welfare, to come up to present the PhD candidates.
Buenas noches, good evening. I was going to sing too, but they took me out of it. So, if we have time at the end, I may still do one. So my name is Roberto Orellana, and I am a faculty member in the School of Social Work and the director of the PhD program. And it's truly an honor to preside over the awarding of the PhD in Social Welfare degrees. The faculty, staff, and all the students, many of you sitting here, who have worked with our graduates, are so happy to extend our warmest congratulations to all the PhD graduates tonight. The PhD in Social Welfare is the highest degree awarded in social work, which culminates in the writing of the doctoral dissertation, a significant piece of research and science. For the families and friends who have supported our graduates, I can assure you that it all has been worth it. Your graduates, your kids, your friends, your partners are on their way to becoming leaders in their communities and a person who will contribute to the uplifting of our communities and our society. So you all should be very proud of them. Our PhD program at the University of Washington is nationally and internationally recognized. As a result, our graduates are highly sought after for their ability to bring deep commitment to social justice and scientific reasoning to bear on the most pressing social issues of our times. For more than 30 years, our graduates have moved on to distinguished careers at leading universities and other agencies, research centers, and social welfare organizations. And this year, our 6 outstanding graduates continue that legacy. We are very proud of you, and we welcome you as future faculty, colleagues, and peer researchers. It is our tradition to have one of the doctoral students speak to all of you about their journey to the PhD. And so we are very pleased to introduce Vern Harner. Who, as you can tell, was selected by their peers to make the doctoral student address, and someone who exemplifies the characteristics of our graduates that I just described. Please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vern Harner. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm graduating this year with a PhD in social work. I've also been an organizer with UAW 4121, our union of academic student employees and postdocs here at UW. I want to mention that I'm honored to be wearing the doctoral robes of Dr. Gilchrist, who was an incredibly impactful prevention researcher and who also left a legacy of mentorship here in the UW School of Social Work before I joined. There's been a lot going on the past few years, and I know that some of y'all here have spent your entire time at UW during the pandemic. And it's just been a different experience than you were maybe expecting or hoping to have. As graduation approached, many people in my life expected me to feel nothing but happiness and excitement, but in reality, my feelings are much more complicated. Before starting my master's, I met a mentor who changed my life, Dr. Tasha Mendoza, a professor in social work at Arizona State. She's maybe the only person who ever said to me, "Have you considered a PhD?" I hadn't seen researchers or professors who were openly queer like me, tattoos, alternative haircut, and all before that. She helped me see that it wasn't an issue of whether or not I could, but if I wanted to pursue graduate studies. In a world where many of us here have been told that universities, certain career fields, or whatever else are not for people like us, we also know that that's so often a load of crap. As I think about my future, something I'm still getting used to, it's hard to believe that in the fall I'll be a professor. There are, we think, just about 20-ish tenure-track or tenured out trans professors in social work in the US and Canada, and I'll be one of them. We know that academia can be isolating and lonely, even lonelier and harder to so often hear that you're the first or one of the very few. I might even be the first, maybe second out trans person receiving a doctorate in social welfare from UW. If anyone knows for sure, I'd love to know. As I reflect on mentorship and representation in academia, I have to mention how often heavier mentoring loads fall on those of us who are women or femmes, who are people of color, LGBTQ, disabled, and especially those of us with multiply marginalized identities. We know that this disproportionate workload has real impacts on our career trajectories. So I want to urge all of my colleagues and everyone graduating today to lean into the lovely mess that is mentorship. Lean into building relationships and connections and continuing to learn how to better show up for our own and others' communities. That said, if you're going to be tokenized and take on a heavier workload, also get paid for it. I also want to urge us all to really lean into repairing and shifting the legacy of our field. Social work as a profession, like academia, has a shitty and complicated history, and things are far from perfect now. Refusing to acknowledge and change the racism and colonialism embedded in so many of our policies and practices, and now in some states being asked to report the supportive parents of trans kids, are just some of the many current issues that a growing number of us in social work are fighting against. Additionally, many social work programs or organizations might consider themselves to be social justice oriented, but I was still misgendered and faced microaggressions, if not more open discrimination, throughout my master's and doctoral studies and also the job search process. Maybe that's been, unfortunately, some of y'all's experiences too. And yet, here I am, about to be a professor headed into the belly of the beast and excited about it. I point out the flaws in social work and in universities because I believe and I know that we can do better. Over the past 6 years in the program, I've worked with so many trans, queer, and disabled students, many of them Black, Brown, or Indigenous, and so many first-gen students. And it's been you, all of you, who have time after time revived my faith in our ability to repair the immense harm caused in the name of social work or social justice. I'm honored to be graduating alongside some students of mine Hi, everyone. And also graduates I didn't have a chance to have in my classes. Y'all have already made so many brilliant contributions to the world. It's also Pride Month, when we remember the legacy of activism in the LGBTQ community and celebrate that community. It's been good to see a renewed focus on the fact that the first Pride was a riot, but I think that we don't talk enough about how the first Pride had to be a riot. And it was a riot in direct response to police brutality. Pride Month isn't just about celebrating our identities and community, but also about remembering what it took and what it continues to take to get here. As we celebrate graduation, I'm also celebrating, this is the part I might cry, I brought my hanky. I'm also celebrating all of the LGBTQ students here, whether y'all are out to your families or not. In a world where there is so much pain, so much fighting to get or keep basic rights, where equity and justice are not static endpoints or finish lines we can ever cross, we can really tucker ourselves out by focusing just on the bad things. Taking time to feel joy can be part of the fight too. So I want everyone here to think about something that has been bringing you joy, big or small, on top of graduating today. What has been keeping y'all going? As we all transition into whatever is in store for us next, remember to hold on to that joy. So all of that to say, on this day where maybe I'm not alone in feeling complicated, I hope that you'll all join me in honoring our grief and exploring our messy feelings, but also taking the time to embrace celebrating things big and small. We did it. You did it. Congratulations, y'all.
Thank you, Bern, and we are so happy that you are joining the University of Washington as a professor pretty soon. So now I will read the names and a little bit about each of our 6 graduating students who will come up on stage, those who are here, and they will be hooted by their committee chair or a member of their committee. First, Ana Constantino Peret. Ana plans to defend her dissertation, Improving Trauma-Informed Care for Childbearing Individuals, an examination of the intergenerational impact of trauma among adolescent mothers and their infants, later this summer. Her chair, Dr. David Takeuchi, and her committee members are Melissa Martinson, Amelia Gavin, and Olivia Lee. Ana is forever grateful for the unconditional love and support from her family and friends and colleagues throughout the past 5 years. And she's looking forward to beginning a postdoctoral fellowship at Washington University in St. Louis this fall. Congrats. Not here today, but also we are celebrating Henry Joel Girmay. He's not able to be here tonight, but he has defended his dissertation, The Benefits of Trauma-Informed Social and Emotional Learning Curricula Among Core-Involved Students Living in Congregate Settings. His chair is Dr. Angelique Day, and Peter Pecora and Lori Vanderwell from the School of Social Work, and Dr. Charles Lee from the University of Houston. Joel thanks his family, friends, and faculties at the University of Washington, Cal State Fullerton, and all of them for supporting his development as a social work scholar. Congratulations to Joel. And I think we're streaming this, so hope you're watching. Big round of applause for you. Vern Harner. Vern will be defending their dissertation, Transgenerational, Examining a Trans Quality of Life and Knowledge, in a few weeks. Their committee is composed of their chair, Dr. Kalei Kanuha, as well as Drs. Jama Shelton and Clara Berridge. Vern would also like to thank Drs. Megan Moore, Jane Bailey for their mentorship, and their UAW 4121 union siblings for the support throughout their doctoral education. Vern will join UW Tacoma as an assistant professor in the Harborview Injury Prevention and Research Center this fall. Not here tonight, Ian Johnson. He has defended his dissertation on certain destinations, characterizing the role of place in the later life experiences of unhoused palliative care patients. His chair and mentor was Taryn Lindhorst, with support from committee members Clara Berridge, Megan Moore in the School of Social Work, as well as Lynn Manso in landscape architecture. He was supported by his partner, family, friends, mentors, and colleagues, dog, students, and community partners throughout the doctoral program. He's not here with us tonight, but he will be starting as an assistant professor at the University of Tennessee this fall. Congratulations to Ian. Please note the groundbreaking research that these scholars are doing and how they address some of the issues that our speaker today talked about and the many issues that we are dealing in society these days. So I'm very impressed by their work. Next, Angela Malorny. Angie has successfully defended her dissertation, Social Media and Youth Sociopolitical Development, using youth participatory action research to examine and address key tensions, conflicts, and contradictions. Her chair, Dr. Mike Spencer. And she has been supported by friends, mentors, and many other doctoral students over the past 5 years. Pretty soon, in a few weeks, Angie begins a position as an assistant professor at Rutgers University School of Social Work. Congratulations. Next, we have Anita Rocha. Anita has defended her dissertation, Minimum Wage Increases in Child Support Payments, a Second-Hand Anti-Poverty Regime. Her chair is Jenny Romick, and her other committee members are Melissa Martinson from the School of Social Work and Dr. Scott Allard from the Evans School of Public Policy and Governance. Like the other students, Anita gives thanks to her family, friends, colleagues, and ancestors. She will continue her work in helping to house the least resource families at the King County Housing Authority. It was such an honor and privilege to preside over this. Congratulations to all of you. We know that you will go out and do inspiring things. Congratulations.
Aloha Ahiahi. I am Kalei Kanuha, the director of the school's MSW program. I am humbled, honored, and excited to preside over the awarding of the 2022 Master of Social Work degrees. As is tradition with our school's graduation ceremonies, MSW students nominated faculty members whom they wanted to participate in tonight's celebration. They have selected Charlotte Sanders to read their names as they approach the stage, and Ariana Cantu to present their alumni pins after they receive their degrees. A Master of Social Work degree at UW and elsewhere is among the most demanding graduate programs due to the combination of both classroom and in-the-field learning. The degree requires many hundreds of hours of classes and coursework, you remember, right? But also 1,080 hours of direct practice experience where students are mentored by social work practitioners who are, many of them are graduates of our program. That means, in addition to their coursework, our students are in field settings for an equivalent of 20 hours a week for 54 weeks, like working half-time for a whole year. And of course, many of our students are working half-time or more to support their schooling and their families. And we not only give tribute to the significant achievement for all of you who are receiving your MSW tonight, but this year's graduates will also remember and always be commended for the sad, challenging, and world-changing events of the past 2 years during which you persevered. You are the first graduating class of MSWs at the UW School of Social Work who completed your degrees while studying entirely through the coronavirus pandemic. And in almost a moment's notice, in March 2020, we had to pivot to online learning and to practicum experiences converted from in-person to remote services. Many of you were not only wary about your own health status, but were caring for loved ones who were immunocompromised, homeschooling children or grandchildren, and unable to touch or hold those close to your hearts who were suffering or passed from COVID. And through it all, you showed tremendous resiliency, creativity, but most of all, generosity for yourselves, for each other, and for all of us staff and faculty here at the school. Despite some of you never having met in person, some of your peers sitting in the audience next to you tonight, you patiently waited through the many snags us faculty had in getting those Zoom classes up, and you attended class on your beds, in your kitchens, and on your sofas, with various pets and family members in the background, sometimes actively on camera. And here you are. We admire you, we respect you, we thank you, and we will hold you up forever. We know you will go on to do wonderful things as you step out into the world that needs social workers today more than ever. We are seeing the tragic burgeoning of social problems that are so commonplace and yet historically part of social work's calling. Gun violence, threats to reproductive freedom, curbs to voting rights, food insecurity, surveillance, incarceration, and murders of Black and brown children and their families, environmental degradation, and divestment in disability justice, and trans and human rights. But this is your important and inspiring work ahead, and we are so happy and proud to launch you on your way. As social workers, we know that you will remember that your calling is to work for justice, and you must do that with your hearts and spirits wide open. It is all we have. And now, with great honor, we present the Master of Social Work degrees.
Tada, sir. April Reyes. Alyssa Stokes. Isabela Alvarado. Chloe Gretches. Sarah Marsh. Emily Yoder. Cole Devlin. Brian Hanna. Padumo Nurin. Fatima Adam. Halima Idris. Rebecca Warsham. Katya Downey. Dee Beckham. Jim Lawler. Espi Garcia. Marissa Louise Rodriguez. Anna. Alexandria Mary Wolferdingen Bodas. Abby Howell. Tori Verhulst. Ayan Shire. Jerry Eaglesrud. Maysam Abidizadeh. Melissa Ivy. Robert Hardy. Micaela Cueva. Annalay Smith. David Callahan. Marissa Yoder. Alan Diaz Montoya. Jake Campbell. Candace McVeigh. Tyler Speaks. Jody Hartman. Aaron Brown. Cassandra Sones. Megan Davies. Nicolette Moore. Zenith Savory. Jessica Hastings. Nick Steyer. Sochul Song. Danielle Husher. Julian Paget. Michelle Lee. Colleen Kim. Becca Van Horn. Rachel Wright. Haley Bruner. Meg McLean. Emily Lord. Jessica Marie Munyon. Stephanie Lopes. Isana Laufman. Marek Heredia. Ryan Lindberg. Michael Perret. Aaron Sheldon. Jillian Duenas. Becca Yin. Jenny Le. Jas Harcum. Summer Albert. Mateo Hernandez. Kirsten Joanne Brown. Sam Mintz. Oakley Hawk. Tori Leader. Kayla Lovett. Deha Chaudhary. Melanie Estes. Kristen Hyatt. Mel Baron. Sarah Norman. Milagros del Aguía. Rumen Carr. Rachel Roth. Corey Agon. Jessica Sednis. Kelsey Hansen. Grace Lee. Priscilla Ndaka. Pace Cragg. Daisy Wong. Abigail Anderson. Victoria Robinson. Jennifer Lynch. Melanie Carter. Caroline Osborne. Abigail Bentley. Andrea Salgado. Valerie Justine Macaran. Michaela Demert. Celeste Runyon. Claire Phillips. Meredith Martin. David Eisenberg. Meryl Safar. Jessica McGifford. Cindy Ford. David Perlmutter. Livy Jacobs. Erin Bernardi. Hillary Thomason. Emancia Douglas Gaines. Maya Cox. Amna Mashish. Nina Queso. Heather Shaver. Tori Mitchell. Choni Brock Levy. Larissa Thomas Norris. Ashley Panico Tallman. Ruth Medina Godina. Lydia Gisela Lopez. Brittany Floyd Watson. Jose Mansocasio. Maria Cervantes. Akasha Balkman. Diana Now Nguyen Bui. Jocelyn Baracas. Victoria Neem. Ashley Perkins. Jessica Hatch. Danielle Trottier. Taquisha Dean. Zandalise Springs. Michaela Matthews. Anna Campbell. Ximena Enriqueta Romero. María Hernández. Angélica Palma Gutierrez. Gelit Geffen. Jess Walton. Tina Wilson. Bethany Plunkett. Nolan Mannion. Lauren Malden. Walter Gray. Kaylee Horan Spatz. Juan Jose Galvez Lopez. María Pérez Rafael. Marla Pérez Rafael. Emily Caltech. Kylie Brief. Juan Buituco. Julius Lloyd. Saint Anna Kudior. Ushela McKnight. Lamia Barkat. Al-Selha Fek Evans. Viviana Norma Lopez. Victoria Eastman. Shoshana Molman. Annika Nichols. Seth Thomas. Rosalinda Cummings. Monica Watson. Jenna Rose Hinzo. Lucy Gunter. Ilana Rim. Savannah Norton. Krista Hanley. Sherry Sternhagen. Ayala Ruth Feder Haugebuk. Hay Malachek. Chelsea Abraham. Elizabeth Bobadilla. Lucia Espinosa. Sarah Duran. Colleen Campbell. Van Fon. Stephanie Light. Sam Sundberg. Denise Koger. Vic Sanford. Andrea Brudvig. Mariana Sanchez Corona. Rubina Ali. Jasmine Sanchez. Amber Toller. Amber Lene McDowell Reese. Maria Arias. Ana Maria Arias Montes. Dylan Ward Bin Quiggle. James Oliver Randall. Adria Goulet. Tamira Bauer. Megan Bernatchez. Sarah Stewart. Kara Chambers Deriadis. Nayeli Abigail Alcantar. Ashley Saraki del Valle. Jennifer Monique Martinez. Katie M. Allen. Araceli Regis. Abigail Hernandez Guzman. Zareen Ramzan. Simranpreet Panu. Sierra Draper West. Anna Hines. Silver Stephanie Lee. Michelle Code. Elena Geiger. Cole Griffin. Anisha Varadaraja. Allison Young. Taryn Walter. Sam Barrett. Gerald A. Marjol Molina. Jenny Guerrero Orellana Sleeper. Katia Nunez. Claire Padden. Jessica Burden. Nicole Garner.
My name is Amelia Gavin, and I'm the BSW Program Director. It is an honor for me to preside over the awarding of the BSW degrees tonight. The BSW program is accredited by the Council on Social Work Education. We are the only program of the top 3 social work programs in the United States with the BSW program. So it is a special honor to celebrate our graduating seniors, where they help us carry our strong commitments to undergraduate social welfare education. In addition to the university requirements, social welfare students must complete courses in the major and a practicum, where under professional supervision, they have the opportunity to apply the knowledge and skills and values they've learned in the classroom to real-life social welfare practice situations. Our students are prepared for generalist social welfare practice, which means they have a broad set of skills to work with individuals, families, communities, agencies, and engage in policy advocacy. This group of graduating seniors is a talented bunch. On top of the normal rigor of the program, they were the first cohort of BSW students to start the program during the pandemic. They adapted to the ever-changing circumstances of remote, hybrid, and in-person learning, navigated personal hardships, all in order to graduate. We have been so impressed with all of you. 14 of our seniors will be starting our advanced standing master's program in social work, where they will earn their MSW. Some students completed the departmental honors program, in which they extended their classroom learning to an independent research project. These honor students and their research projects include Isabel Greenlee and Ashley Sullivan, reproductive health care inside U.S. prisons and jails. Jisoo Kim, and Nora Porter, barriers impacting the success of substance use disorder treatment amongst BIPOC individuals and communities. Jessica Paccio, the importance of introducing mental health coping strategies to BIPOC adolescents in schools. Ahwin Raymond, community care, the impact of social networks on the health and wellness of people with disabilities. Congratulations on your hard work this year and this extra project that really exceeded minimum expectations. Today, I'm happy to say to all of you, congratulations. You're about to graduate from the University of Washington with a bachelor's degree that may lead you to an MSW program, a PhD program, or any number of positions in the field of social welfare. Wherever you end up next, we want you to be change agents, bringing positive change to the world around you. We hope you were able to apply these skills you've learned here and care for yourself and those around you. Because I can't be there this evening, Saul Tran Cornwell will help present the scrolls for the students, and Kalfani Wamba will be passing out the alumni pins. Additionally, Charlotte Sanders will be reading student names. Again, congratulations, and here's to your next adventure.
In place of Saul Cornwell tonight, we'll have Ariana Cantu handing out the degrees.
Lexus M. Edwards. Isabella Rosa Unger. Hannah Hutchins. Natalie Rand. Lauren Fernandez. Jasmine Mabel Chen. Jolene Yue. Priscilla Solis. Jaylene A. Sanchez. Misha Gibson. Sophie Rose Phillips. Angela Escos. Deborah Maria Asuncon Gan. Jessica Pacheco. Gauri Ramesh. Xinchao Wu. Karen Develis Molina Velázquez. Sofia Pena. Alexa Cabrera Martínez. Yami Ascensión Villaraldo. Michelle Vasquez Navarro. Lynn Sam. Maria Gutierrez. Allison Reed. Cassandra Nicole Childs. Kat Purrington. Tara Bickley. Aveen Raymond. Ashley Sullivan. Isabel Greeley. Elvina Vino. Latu Wanjalatan. Armin Waltengas Tana. Lindsay Rice. Fatima Farah. Mona Mohammed Abukar. Ella S. Conte Wood. Jisoo Kim. Nora Porter. Jasmine Hall. Violet Fujik Niuisulu. Shang Par. Alondra Martinez. Jasmine Contreras Rivara. Araceli López Mora. Alex Cruz Madrigal.
Okay, congratulations. Woo! This is your day. You deserve it. Please take our very best wishes with you as you celebrate with your fellow students, family, and friends. And be sure to check tomorrow to view today's event. It will be posted on our School of Social Work website for the next 10 days. So if you want to see it again or see it online, please take a look at it. We're going to ask that everyone remain in your seats as the faculty leave the recessional, and then they're going to we're going to be followed by the graduates, starting with the newly minted PhDs. And once the graduates have left the arena, we're going to invite everyone else to make your way out. And we do request that family and friends meet their graduates outside rather than on the arena floor or at the top of the stairs so that the traffic can flow. Okay. Finally, we are very, very fortunate that we have been able to gather here today for graduation in person. We want you to know that we celebrate and embrace each of you as you begin your career as lifelong change agents, working to restore and strengthen our social fabric so everyone can exercise their right to equal justice and a joyful life. Thank you so much, and again, congratulations, graduates.
trap bounce, yeah. Cause every day above ground is a blessing. I done leveled up now, view panoramic. None of my fears can't go where I'm headed. Had to cut them loose, now I'm loose, break the levee, yeah. I'm about to blood on the center. The rain and thunder gon' fall, gon' move, tumbo. No, sinner. You condemn my life. Cause when we walk up in the club, I need them sirens going off. Then we can look up in the sky. The tears we cry, let us know that we I got my cup up to the heavens. Another night I won't remember. Promise this my move forever. Promise this my move forever, ever. Presence dancing on the bezel. This kind of feeling unforgettable. Promise this my move forever. Promise this my move forever, forever and ever.
You heard that?
Forever and ever.
That's the sound of the price going up.
I'm so unbothered, I'm so unbothered. Y'all be so pressed while I'm raising daughters, sons of empires. Y'all make me chuckle, stay in your struggle. Crystal blue water, pina colada in. You stay Ramada in. My baby father, bloodline Rwanda. Why would you try me? Why would you bother? I am Beyonce, Giselle knows Carter. I am the Nala, sister Naruba, Oshun Queen Sheba. I am the mother, Hong Kong my gold chain. Ice on my whole chain. I be like soul food. I am a whole mood. When we walk up in the club, I need the sirens going off.